Hi there, in this video I'm going to talk to you about why you should be skeptical about what you see on social media. Let me ask you something. Have you ever come back from a photography session feeling really excited? You load your photographs onto the computer and start scrolling through them, and then your heart just sinks a little because what you captured doesn't really look anything like what you see on Instagram and YouTube. Maybe it's not as sharp, not as dramatic, maybe you've missed the perfect timing, and you start thinking, am I just not very good at this? Now, if you've ever felt this way, honestly, you're not alone, and more importantly, you're not the problem. Here's the thing to remember. Photography on social media isn't reality, it's a highlight reel. When you scroll through Instagram, you're not seeing a photographer's best day, you're seeing their best moment of the year, and maybe sometimes even their best moment of several years. They might have got the perfect pose, the perfect light, perfect background, or perfect behavior, and that is what they post. What you don't see are the hundreds, sometimes thousands of frames that came before that one. You don't see the missed focus, clipped wings, bad light, the branch stuck in the way, the subject turning away at the last second, the moment happening just before the camera was ready. And I'm sure all of these issues are familiar to everyone watching. On a stunning Instagram feed, you see the shot, but you don't see the hours where absolutely nothing happened. You don't see the scrambling to fix settings, and you don't see the opportunity appear and disappear before everything is dialed in. And that part rarely makes the final cut. And wildlife photography, while it's messy, birds don't care about your composition. They move unpredictably, they turn the wrong way, they blink at the worst possible time, they take off when your shutter speed is too low, they land when your exposure is wrong, and they show up when you're adjusting your tripod, or worse, they appear, do something incredible, and then you hesitate for a second and it's gone. And that's not a failure. That is just a normal part of photography. Something that we should talk more about is success rates. Social media makes it look like photographers come home with amazing keepers every single time. Now personally, I keep around 10% of what I shoot. That means that 90% gets deleted. And out of that 10%, maybe, if I'm lucky, 1 or 2% is good enough for Instagram. So when you see one strong image on my feed or someone else's, that photo might represent hundreds of attempts, missed opportunities, technical mistakes, learning moments. What you're seeing is the tip of the iceberg. Here's where it gets dangerous. We compare our everyday experience to someone else's best ever result. We compare our outtakes to their portfolio, our learning phase to their peak moment, and that comparison quietly drains the joy out of photography. Curiosity turns into pressure, exploration turns into expectation, and creativity is stifled by anxiety. And that's a heavy way to carry a camera. Even the best photographers miss focus or miss moments sometimes. They get their settings wrong, capture awkward poses, or come home empty-handed. Just talk to any photographer and they'll have lots of stories about the one that got away. But they just don't post that part. And to be fair, they don't have to. But it's important to remember that it still exists, because mistakes aren't a sign you're bad at photography. They're a sign you're doing it honestly. What we need to remember is that every missed shot teaches you something. It might be timing, anticipation, maybe technique, or just patience. The photo that didn't work is often the reason that the next one does. Failure isn't wasted effort, just treat it as a rehearsal. Let's quickly analyse my Instagram feed. I've got it here on my phone, so I'll put it up on the screen just here. Now, it's not the strongest of Instagram feeds. I'm sure there are better examples out there, but I use mine as a portfolio of my best work, just somewhere to put what I'm proud of. Now, I've had a quick look back before I started this piece, and over the last year I've posted 80 photographs. Now, yes, there are some people that are posting every day, but it's not really something that I want to get into. It's just somewhere where I just collect my favourite images. Now, if we look here, there are 3 photos of a bank vault that I got at a reserve, but this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I bet I am not going to see these again, certainly for a long while. Then we scroll down. This is a Chetty's warbler that I saw, and it's the first and the best shot that I've really got of a Chetty's warbler. Then we've got some dippers just here, and these were particularly nice shots because they posed really well. But this is not normal, and from that morning I've got 2 shots of dippers, a little grebe and a grey wagtail, and I must have taken hundreds of photos that day. And then we go back in time. There were some red squirrels that I saw up in Yorkshire, and again, that's very unusual. And then we're right back to nearly a year ago when I got these shots of barn owls, and these are the best photographs I've ever taken. I consider this one on the screen now at the moment my best ever photograph. And then we're back to a year ago, and this little egret was taken virtually the same time as I'm filming this video a year ago. And so that is a whole year in photography in just 80 photographs, and that is something to remember. The moment that photography becomes about chasing perfection, matching someone you admire on Instagram, or proving your skill, is the moment that it starts to feel stressful instead of fun. But when you shift your goal from chasing the shot to enjoying your photography, everything changes. That missed shot is still a good day. A quiet outing is still time well spent enjoying nature and improving your well-being. And a lesson learned is a skill that can improve your photography or your outlook on life. So if you come home with mostly misses, you're not behind, and you're not failing, and you're not less talented. You're just seeing photography as it really is. And that is something that's messy, unpredictable, and imperfect. That's exactly what makes the successes meaningful. Accept the mistakes and celebrate the wins, because even photographers you admire are deleting far more than they share. And that is perfectly normal. Most of all, learn to enjoy your photography. If you did enjoy that video, I'll link another one you might enjoy just up here. Leave me any comments down below, or go over to my Instagram, Vero, or Facebook account. Do me a really big favour by clicking the like, subscribe and the bell notifications. But all that's left now is to say, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.